All right, Cancer. So, it's not that bad. I just think that for some of you, the struggle is going to be over having control. There are going to be some things that you're going to have to deal with that you're going to feel like it's like shit happening to you and there's nothing you can do about it, but there is, though. So from the wisdom of the oracle, you pulled the fates. And then from hidden realms, you pulled the web weaver, and this did show up as a challenge for you. Synchronicity, divine intelligence, cause and effect. So now with the fates, I love this one because of the way it describes it. It says, the serenity prayer sums up the meaning of this card. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. There are things in life you will never have control over. The conditions brought on by the evolution of the collective, by nature, and by your past experiences may be fated, preordained by spirit for a greater purpose you cannot understand in this lifetime. It may not be in your cards to understand why certain events occurred, but you can accept the mystery and work with what those events and your current circumstances have to teach you. Now, when we're talking about things that you can't control, the web weaver is saying that there's a warning here to address your behavior in all areas. So we may not be able to control all the things that happen to us, but you can control your reaction. Now, this one as a challenge says that you're challenged to stand tall in all your perfect imperfections. See yourself truly and allow the patterns of your life to be woven into the beauty meant for you and you alone. Keep in mind that if you do what you did, you'll get what you got. The web remembers everything. Do something different this time and watch a miracle. So basically it's saying that you're going to have to do something different in terms of the way that you're acting about, shit happening. All right, Cancer, here is your overall for the week. Oh boy. Now, in terms of you, especially with the Five of Swords showing up, with this being the overall, absolutely, it's going to be up to you to kind of set the record straight, so to speak. I mean, with him being the overall, you're talking about somebody who, is very truthful and upfront, the excellent communicator, thinking logically about things. Now, for some of you, yeah, you're going to be dealing with a King of Swords. And, I like him, I do. But all the kings and even the queens have their faults. And my problem with him is the emotional detachment. But we'll see. We'll see what's going on. Speaking of the Wheel of Fortune in the past. Now, we could be talking about a situation with a person that you've already been through. Now, absolutely, this could be about, something better happening this time involving this person. It just depends. It depends on you and if you're seeing this situation clearly or if they are. And again, with the Five of Swords falling out, it's about getting over that miscommunication, that misunderstanding. But it's going to be up to both of you. But, right, like fated things happening to some of you. And the present, the Hermit. So, if we're talking about a situation with a person coming back around when you're looking at the Hermit, this is like you needing to step back for a minute. I don't think that you want to be alone or that you want to be left alone. I think that you need a minute to think about who you're getting involved with. I think would be the best way to put it. But we'll see. I mean, I like this better than the Four of Swords, but I do feel like whatever is coming back around, no matter what it is, if we're talking about a person, relationship, work opportunity, whatever. With the Hermit, it's like, for you, it's time to come out now, right? I think that for some of you, you've had enough time to reflect on what the possibilities are as far as moving forward with that wheel. Future conditions, the Sun, and that's perfect, right? And again, it goes back to this feeling of it's time to come out now, right? There's no point in continuing to reflect on this. You already see everything. And with the Sun and looking at the King of Swords, clear communication, clear knowing, clear seeing here. For some of you, absolutely, I could see you being like drained by a situation here where you've had to take a time out and think about things. But, the Sun, right? Being rejuvenated, being revitalized, and seeing everything for what it is. I love the Sun, when it comes to this. But I'm telling you, man, I hate the sun right now. I am not a fan of summer. So the other thing is, right, spend some time outside, Don't stay in. Don't lock yourself up, right? Like, I still feel like the big thing here is you needing to come out now. Oh, yeah. Your best path to follow, the Five of Swords. So, again, right? Like, you need to get over the miscommunication, the misunderstanding, things being said and taken the wrong way. That's what I feel like in terms of all of this. There's no point in fighting anymore. Right now, especially with the King of Swords, it's time to clear the air. Now, for some of you, absolutely here, you could be dealing with somebody who is still acting in this way, but I feel like it's going to be up to you to kind of clear everything up. That, or we're talking about the other person that's trying to do this now. It's like they're coming out now. So it's either going to be you or this person. But I still feel like, regardless, it's you needing to come out though too. You've done enough reflecting on this. But we need to be careful about communication moving forward and things being said that just, are not clear. In your environment, the High Priestess. So one of the things that I talk about with this, when I see the High Priestess, absolutely, it's about hidden information. And a lot of times it can be talking about secrets, things that you don't know. But the thing is for you, if you're paying attention to your intuition, it's like I know, but I don't have the facts to support what I know. When you're looking at the Hermit, for a lot of you, the reason why you may have been shut off from a person or a situation here is because there may have been something that you weren't aware of. I think that you knew. I think that you spent a lot of time thinking about it, especially if somebody is coming out and revealing something to you. And again, I don't see deception with her. What I don't like is this, because what ends up coming out may be misconstrued, I think is the best way to put it. But with the sun coming out on this, it's like you see it now. You see it, you understand it. This is not bad compared to a lot of your readings, Cancer. I would just be careful. Be careful about how you take the information that comes out to you. I think that you already knew. I think that you've spent enough time reflecting on this. It's time to come out now. And there needs to be more open, honest, direct communication. But we need to clear this up. But you do, though. You do. Your hopes and your fears, the Queen of Pentacles. The thing here is I get the feeling that the King of Swords is going to be more about you than the person that you're dealing with. The Queen of Pentacles, though, right? Like, one of the things that I talk about, too, when it comes to court cards, we could be looking at, the outer and the inner. I look at the Queens more so as what is going on internally versus the Kings who are showing the external. Now, the Queen of Pentacles, you could definitely be talking about the person that you're dealing with here. There's hopes and fears surrounding this person. But with the Queen of Pentacles, you're talking about, feeling secure. And I think that you're done, though. You're done doing things on your own. Absolutely with the Queen of Pentacles, if we're talking about you, it's about, you feeling secure in your ability to create security and stability. But have you felt insecure surrounding communicating with another person because of past miscommunications? Because I look at this as a past issue almost. But then I also see the situation as the both of you kind of like being separated here, being on your own, thinking about things, needing to come out now. And again, it's something is coming out though too that you weren't aware of. But I don't see her as a bad thing. I think that for some of you, it's just, I don't like the lack of emotion here. Like, I think that some of you absolutely need to come out and you need to speak. But then, I also feel like some of you need to be a little bit more grounded instead of being like so cerebral about things, I think is the best way to put it. But I'm seeing a situation here between two people. And male, female, doesn't matter to me. Air, earth, I don't care. But I think that some of you have spent enough time on your own here And not just you, but the other person that you're dealing with. Oh, and then coming out the Four of Wands. Not bad, not bad. Especially with the Sun. This is like kind of going back over everything. So with the Wheel of Fortune, like I said, kicking this off, this is something that's coming back around. And it's going to have to do between you and another person. There being fighting, miscommunication, misunderstandings with the Five of Swords, right? There are some things that you are not aware of that are going to come out. I think that you spent enough time reflecting on it, though, because I think you already knew. And it may have to do with another person that there's hopes and fears surrounding. But with the Sun, again, you're seeing everything clearly. And with the Four of Wands coming out, you're talking about getting some stability back here, possibly building a life with somebody. It's not bad, but we need to go over this. You know, whatever is being misunderstood needs to be not dredged up, right? But we need to like get it all out there so everything is clear. You know, and that's what's going to help as far as feeling secure with moving forward here. You know, whether we're talking about moving in with somebody, you know, accepting an opportunity from someone here, right? Getting to a place where you get to celebrate the accomplishment and getting past this. It's not bad. It's not bad. And then the Nine of Wands. And that's understandable, right? Especially if this is something that you've already been through involving another person. When we're looking at the Seven of Pentacles, right? You know, especially with the Hermit coming after this, you've spent enough time. You have spent enough time looking at what you have to show for everything that you have done involving possibly another person here, right? Like looking at what you have to show for all of this and going, was it worth the time? Was it worth the effort? You may be reevaluating things now and looking at how growth can happen in a better way, especially with the Four of Wands. Now with the Ten of Swords, what I feel like with this is that, like I said, I think that for some of you, you know, especially if this is dealing with another person, you've been separated long enough. I think that you've already gone through the painful ending. I think the worst is over with here, and that's why there's a need to come out now. You know, and I think that you've reflected on things that, you know, you already knew. But I do think that this kind of comes out and it's like there's confirmation on this. But it's not necessarily a bad thing, because I think you've already been through that with the Ten of Swords. But I feel like for some of you, absolutely, this could be about you and another person absolutely being broke up. Like it broke up, separated, it's over and done with. But the thing is you're reevaluating how to, you know, not revive it, but get over the negative, you know, especially with this being here. But then with the Nine of Wands, like I said, for me, that makes sense. It would make sense that there's a part of you that is still like on the defensive. You know, I don't think that you're preparing for battle here, you know, and I don't think that you're necessarily letting the wall down. But I think that this is kind of like caution and moving forward. But even still, we're still looking at the Four of Wands here. So the potential is absolutely there. But it's interesting to me, especially with the Oracle cards, because it's like, yeah, you know, this was fated for some of you. You have to go through this again. But it's not a bad thing. I think that this is going to have to do with some of you that have been separated from a person. It may have to do with a relationship here. You know, and it could be family, right? But I look at the Four of Wands and I think of two people that are building their lives together. You know, I think that you're coming back together. There's a lot more clarity in terms of what the both of you are wanting moving forward. But I also feel like some things that you needed to know are going to come out in a good way. But all right, guys, let's take a look at the soul trees here. Transition, but you're going to have to make a transition here. You know, and it may not be that easy, because with the Ten of Swords, I mean, all of that to me looks like everything that you're going through with the Hermit right now. You know, it's not going to be an easy thing to do, but the thing is that if there's a passion there is the opportunity for things to flourish for you, which is great. But you're going to have to make that transition. You may not be able to control everything, but damn it, you can control the way that you react to certain things, right? And then Mystic Healer, healing energy flows through you. So once you clear the air, things will be healed. You get to move forward. I like it. I like it. There's like a certain level of complexity here when it comes to, you know, those of you, like I said, who are dealing with another person that you've been separated from. You know, this is meant to happen, you know, and I rarely ever feel like that with the Wheel of Fortune, but then with the Oracle cards back, you know, this is nice to see. So, you know, do what you can to clear the air here, you know, get everything out there, have open and honest communication, but make sure that once it's clear that there's the healing that follows this. Not bad, Cancer.